everybody. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Kemisphere. We are here with one of my moderators, Boss Chick. Say hello, Boss Chick, if you can hear me. I can't hear me. And we have the beautiful Inez Finley here with us to
Thank
talk about
you.
her experience in Ghana. Hello, Inez.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I had a little fun today, so
Oh, that's good. Oh, we just had another moderator join, the Hierophant Cannon. She's a moderator. She's here. Ray, can you show your face for about 2 seconds? There you go. Hold on, your mic is muted.
Oh, sorry. Hey, y'all. I love you
Hey.
having Kim. Welcome, Miss Inez. I've heard great things about you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We
Hello,
gonna talk
Victoria.
about it.
Yes, we're going to talk
Yeah.
about it. Do you have some questions? If you have questions, Hierophant, have them ready. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Boss Chick, go ahead and do one intro video. So, like I said, we have the beautiful, amazing,
No.
feisty Miss
That I
Inez in the
am. I
building.
definitely am
It's not,
feisty.
we ain't taking no drama. We ain't taking it, Miss Inez.
Yeah.
Girl, I've been watching you. And you're not supposed to. You're supposed to stand your ground and fight your battles. Look, because
10
they
toes
will
down,
try you.
baby.
They
10
will try
toes
you over
down.
there.
Huh.
So, where do you want to start, Inez?
Well, thank you for having me aboard. I'm living sort of a dream, if you will. It is the dream, but just a lot of bull stuff in between, but living my dream of getting out of the US and living abroad. And so my first country has been Ghana once I left the US. So this is my first stop, and who knows what the future holds. So hopefully, is
Yes,
much more to come.
yes, exactly. That's good. That's good. So, how's it been so far?
Ooh, lots of bumps, lots and lots and lots of bumps, unfortunately.
Tell
Lots
me
of,
about your first week in Ghana.
oh, my first week was uneventful. You know what I mean? Like I'd already been, see, the difference for me is I'd already been coming back and forth to Ghana
Mm-hmm.
for years before I moved here. So I'd already knew, like, if you guys are familiar, there's a lot of people from Oakland here. Like everybody, if
Mm-hmm.
you know, you'll meet at least a few people from Oakland. It's a lot of us here. And part of that
Mm-hmm.
is because some of the people are connections. And so I really, after I had already been coming back and forth, I really thought my connections were solid enough to maintain and, kind of help me transition into,
Mm-hmm.
because I knew that this was a male dominated society. I knew that. And so coming in and having those social connections, let's put it that way, I really um I misunderstood what those connections meant and how I would actually be taken care of, if you want to put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so my first week was uneventful. I shipped stuff. So that was my challenge, was just getting here and getting my SIM card and getting, small things situated,
Okay.
coming in, looking for places. You know how it is, looking for housing here in Ghana is retarded. But so yeah, it was just hitting the ground running, coming in, looking for places to stay, where to get situated, and then, like I said, I knew a ton of people already. So by the time I moved here, it was like, hey, y'all, what's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah.
lot of people didn't expect me to really make the move. Like when I told them I was moving and coming, I don't think they really. So when I got here, it was kind of like a surprise to people, because they was like, we really didn't expect you. They didn't expect me
Uh-huh.
to come,
Uh-huh.
you know. So it was like apprehension, like, are you really here? It's like almost like pushing, make sure that's you there. So
Yes. 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 Okay. So we have a video we're gonna play. Is this a video, Boss Chick?
uh, I don't know if she can hear you.
Okay, so Ray, how this is gonna go is we're gonna play a few videos, Ray, and who else is up here? Ray, we have TT in the chat, we have K and K in the chat, we have Menelik, Victoria, Yanni Young. Okay, so what we're gonna do is Boss Chick's gonna play a video, and then we'll probably speak on that video. We'll let Inez speak on that video. Then we'll go to question. We'll do our question and answers. Please be respectful in the chat. There will be absolutely zero tolerance for any bullying, uh, any trolling, or any nasty comments. I want to thank you all for being here. Again, welcome to the Kemisphere. Thanks for that announcement, Ray. Hold on, Boss Chick is getting her video together, I believe. Eventually we're going to invite people up. The link is in the chat. I will continue to put the link in the chat. Kay, if you want to come up on stage with us, click the link. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, Inez.
Hey.
I'm
That's
seeing
how I was like,
did you type
yeah, and
something?
I was because you were talking about in the chat, and I was like, "Where's the chat at? Where's the chat at?" That's why I said, "Ooh wee." Don't laugh at me. I found it. Yes.
Hello, Barbara. We're just waiting on Boss Chick to get her video together. Hello, Barbara. Thanks for coming in. So you can go ahead and tell us a little more while we wait for Boss Chick to get that. So, what has been your greatest, before we get to the bad stuff, your greatest experience in Ghana? Like, what made you say, okay, I'm staying in Ghana?
I mean, when I honestly, more than anything, I imagined community. You know, I mean, I'm from Oakland. I'm from the Bay. If y'all know, the Bay, we're water people. So I love the Bay. Like Accra was my stomping ground when I first started coming. But when I finally made my first trip I actually came to One Africa because I know Imicus, or so I was like, oh, this is it right here. You know what I'm saying? I get to sit on the water and put my feet in the water, listen to the ocean. I was like, oh, you ain't got to tell me twice, you know? So when all of my connections moved from Accra to Cape Coast, I was like, well, this is where I need to be. You know, this is the community. This is my people, yada, yada, yada. So the water is, you know, amazing. The air is pretty, especially when you compare Accra, the traffic is less, the air quality is better. I mean, you just got a lot of positives when it comes to if you're a nature person and all of those type of things. It's like a win-win, you know. So for me, it was like, oh, I'm over here with y'all. So yeah, to me, it was like a no-brainer. You're near the water. You get to go and stick your feet in the water and leave your cares there if that's what you want to do, however you vibrate. So for me, the water was where I needed to be.
Okay. Sounds good. Let me get back to the comments. Okay, so let's get into the situation with well, let me say this. Let me very cautiously.
You said cautious.
Cautiously, how did you feel seeing your face on the internet? Were you shocked, or were you aware that somebody was going to be using you for publicity? I guess.
If you're talking about the little parasite,
the green lady,
I call it the cackling hyena crew. I was actually. Well, I was contacted. Let me be more clear. I was contacted by an individual who seemed like they were on the up and up, meaning that they were a stand-up type of individual. So the way that person presented themselves was, to me at the time, was respectable. And so why not, right? I'm thinking, at least in my mind, why not? But what that person presented to me over the phone and what I saw online was a totally different person. I felt betrayed. You know, I felt extremely betrayed. And then it was like, so this person watches a few videos of me and think they know me. You know what I mean? Like, and you talking hard and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay. And being from Oakland, you know, the funny thing is when you present yourself like a lady, and you are, people don't realize how much you can switch up.
Yeah. I know.
So I guess this trick know me. So,
no.
Yeah, I didn't want to have an episodic break and everything. I think she was just, you know, having her little moment. You know, in general, I thought positive things until I went and saw the live myself. Let's put it that way. So up until the live, I had no reason to believe that she was going to do a 180. And so once after that, I was like, okay, let me be a little more cautious and move carefully, you know, especially when they started. The little meat peon brains were talking about, oh, you need to be careful. You're going to get unalived and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, why would you put that kind of energy out there? Like that, the vibe is honestly, that type of energy was and still is unnecessary. That's
Yes.
not the conversation. You know what I mean? It was just, like I said, I felt betrayed, but I also felt like someone was trying to insert that type of negativity into the energy, into the crowd or into the mix, because that wasn't there.
Yeah.
I present myself the way I carry myself, I just felt it was wrong,
Inez, me and my team saw the invitation. We saw the video coming, and we were trying to figure out how or if we should even contact you and warn you not to do it. But let me tell you how God works. You went, if I'm not mistaken, you went on a live before that.
No, she did 2 on me. So she did 2 on me. The first one she did with me, I actually went on that live or went to that live. And when I was reading the comments, I even said, I was like, some of y'all comments are real disrespectful.
Okay, that's the live I was in.
Yeah, that was the first one. And so I was like, I don't know if I should be here. I'm like reading y'all comments. And I'm like, y'all comments are real disrespectful, yo.
Yeah.
So I was like, and then they were laughing at certain things and making fun of, me having a flooded living room and making jokes and stuff. And I was like, what kind of, excuse me for saying it, but what kind of, let me not go there. But what kind of any individual that calls himself to be civilized, if you will, what type of individual would take pride or gloat and be happy that you are suffering and laughing at it? If that's what you say, you tell, it's like SOS band, tell me if you still care. Why would you say you cared and then you're sitting up here laughing about that? Like, that's not how, that's, like I said, I was very specific when I created my page, when I took down all the old videos, because if you see, I've been on YouTube for a long time, but my thing is the way I move. My disposition is to not make fun of people. My goal, my natural disposition is to heal. So for me, I'm not going to come and laugh at you. In fact, I'll come and pray with you if that's what you need to do. If you need to cry, whatever. Right. But to kind of make fun of somebody whose living room was flooded or bedroom was flooded and ha, and this ha. Hi, Dylan Bruce. I see your comments. I just thought that was really immature. You know what I'm saying? So for all of them, and many of those people, it was funny because probably more than 90% of them I'd already banned from my page, So by the second time around, and she was still, doing videos about me, I was like, I blocked her already. So how is she still getting my content? And I was like, oh, she must have another account. And I was like, that person is a stalker. Excuse my language.
Yeah. I wondered the same thing. If I blocked you, how are you still getting new pictures of me on your page?
Have another account, because I even went back into, you got to go into the account, check all the people. And when I went through the list of people, some of the names I still remember, I was like, okay, block. They were all there. So I was like, how are they still getting my content? So I was like, either they're logging in under what do you call it? On the hidden private pages or something. I don't know what the heck. But like I said, she wasn't even worth me mentioning. And so it was funny how she kept saying she's talking about us and she's talking about us. And I was like, baby, I never even spoke your name. So I was like, but throw a rock into a pack of dogs, and the one that hollers is the one that got hit. And you were busted because I never spoke your name. So that's how I was like, that you knew I was talking about you. So that's her problem.
Well, I'm glad you survived her, and I'm happy that you decided to be
useless.
Here.
Like I said, she is utterly useless. And like I said, it's funny because I'm not a small woman. So I've always laughed when people hide behind, these little whatever you want to call this internet world. When people meet me, they don't say nothing to me.
Exactly.
Every time I get somebody that comes up and be like, I follow you on your page. And then I'll be like, because I'm real incognito. I try not to be attracting a ton of attention. But for her, like I said, if she met me, she wouldn't say nothing to me.
Nothing.
I know she wouldn't say
I said it the other day. I said I would never. If I saw you in a grocery store, I would never know because you would shut up. You wouldn't say a word.
She wouldn't say nothing to me. And that's in Kink. I want to tell you, I'm so glad. I'm so happy you called her out and called her an ugly walrus too. You know what? Because and that's why I was laughing. I was like, see, I try not to call people.
You talking about K&K, Inez?
Yes, I was K&K. I was so happy she told her, you ugly, because I was like, all jokes aside. I don't like calling people ugly. I don't get off on that. But when you are ugly, baby, you really don't need to be talking about nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Because people roast,
Yes.
where I'm from, we roast people. We really do roast people. So when you start talking about stuff like, I remember growing up, guys would make jokes about me being heavy or considered overweight. And I'd be like, oh, you be cute if you lost some weight. And I'd be like, you cute if you got a bigger dick and some more money. Don't say stuff like that to me. Don't go there with me. I'm just saying. So if you don't want to get clowned, keep your words to yourself. I'm sorry. She's like, don't bite your tongue. I'm sorry, my bad. But no, don't be. I'm just saying, you being that ugly, you really need to keep it quiet. I mean, honestly, because I'm sure other people had other comments for her trying to talk about people. She really needed to stop. Like, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, who was that? Eddie Griffin called him a night fighter, where you got to turn all the lights off when you come in, because you see her night fighter, and you got your nerve to be talk about somebody. Girl, please. So that's why I was like, she's an irrelevant, a non-MFing factor. She really is. So the fact that she was trying to roast people, I'm glad you gave it to her, K&K. I'm really, really.
Yeah, that was epic. That was epic.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't let me on her channel. I went to her one day, like, bring me up. You want to hear my story? Hear it from me. She's like, oh, no, you're not going to come up on my channel.
And then she said she doesn't have the time. And I want to get off her because she really ain't that important. But it's fascinating. You give 3-4 hours to these so-called psycho evaluations. So let's psycho evaluate you. Like, let's put you under the microscope. Like, honestly, any of us can.
With her master's degree.
Right. So I'm like, I mean, I can get in with the best of them when it comes to psychoanalytical stuff. I really can. But I'm like, do we want to do that? So hindsight is 2020, as people would say. So yeah, you can talk about what you would have did and what you should have did. And I mean, but even how she's talking about how she needs to be careful, how she's moving. She gonna get out there. She out there with a man-dominated world. I was like, baby, you don't even know me. You don't even know how I communicate. You don't know how I talk. You don't know my energy. So like I said, and then be sitting up here talking all this negative talk about how she get killed doing this and this and this. I'll be like, you know what, baby? Go on and keep caping to all them other little people that's paying you $20 to see my face and to see my videos and whatnot. I mean, she called me a grifter. Her and her little.
I had never heard of that word, Inez. She called me a grifter, and then I noticed that she called you. I had never heard of it until she called me a grifter.
She told me one of her people that was following called me a grifter, and I'm like, a grifter? So when she said it to me, I was like, you know what a grifter is? She said, yeah. And I was like, baby, I'm not a grifter. But see, here's the thing, and this is where when I called her and her little peons or minions, how can you take my picture, my image, my likeness, all of these things, sort of throw them in the washing machine and then get whatever you get, right? And then now you're collecting money from my picture. You're even using my name. So you're using my name, my picture, everything. Right. And people are making donations to you. And I'm the grifter? Excuse me, as we would say, bitch, please. Like, seriously, quit playing now. Like, come on. So who's the grifter, you or me?
Right, exactly.
I might have to change computers because I'm freezing.
Okay. She might have to change computers.
Yeah, she has to change computers. Okay.
But yeah, no, I didn't know. See, the thing is, when she came to me, I didn't know who she was. I had heard her name before so many times. And so I didn't know if she was negative. I didn't know she was toxic. Let's put it that way.
Yes, she is.
So I didn't have a clue until I actually participated in that live. And I was like, oh, you guys are all the people that I've blocked on my page. When I say name after name after name, I remember blocking that one. I remember blocking that one. Ooh, I remember blocking that one. I was like, oh, this is where all the hyenas hang out. Because hyenas don't go after the lions, right? The hyenas will not attack one single lion by itself because head on, you can't rock with it. So that's how she is. She needs to come with her little. My brother used to tell me growing up, one of my friends, he told me the weak and the fragile travel in packs. And so that's something I've always known. The weak and the fragile need other people with them. I come by myself and I'm comfortable coming by myself. So I need to bring it. So for her, she needs support. Because as long as she's by herself, she's going to be polite and bowing and but let her come with her people. And then all of a sudden she wants to act tough. No, baby, I'm me all the time, all day long. We can by myself, with groups, it doesn't matter. So that's why I was like, she really, really, really needs to stop. That's all I'm saying. And she plays too much. So that's why I laugh. I was like, she gonna do that to somebody and they gonna bop her right in her mouth.
Oh, okay, Inez, hold on. I'm trying to. Boss Chick is changing computers, so I'm gonna try my best to pull up
Anybody
a
has
video.
questions, I guess. Look.
Yeah, any comments or questions, hit the link. Let me try to find this video. Hold on, let me post the link.
Yeah.
Yes, that one is crazy and sick. Okay, so the link is in the chat. If anybody would like to come up, any comments or questions, let us know while I figure this video situation out. Okay, business, entrepreneur, a simple stir fry. Just give me a second.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said pack rats.
Right.
Ah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where is okay, hold on. Okay, let me go to videos. I was trying to pull up a short, but let me go to videos.
No, sorry, Yanni, my lights aren't out. It's about 11:30 here at night where I'm at. So I have a light on, which is comical because I was actually telling her, but you wouldn't believe it. It's literally right there, and I'm underneath it, and I have the lights from my laptop.
I don't know how to do
But
this.
for some reason, they have these cheap light bulbs here, and even when you buy them, I don't know. Sorry, baby.
Okay,
but you
boss
can
chick here. Hold on, I'm pull you up.
Yeah, it says pull me up.
It's not giving me an option to bring you up, boss chick.
I see something that says put user in timeout.
No, don't touch that.
No, I'm not touching nothing. I'm just saying that's all I see.
Yeah, that's if somebody's being disrespectful or something. We can put them in timeout.
Okay, so I'm going back over to my little spot.
So I must have to pull her up on your. Okay, Inez, can you pull her up because this is coming up on your YouTube.
But that's what I'm asking. How do I pull her up, baby? That's what I'm asking. Tell me.
Do you see where at the bottom of your screen where she's backstage?
At the bottom, I see T, and then I see yours, your picture. So your camera is hidden and T's camera is hidden. That's all I see.
I do not know how to pull this video up. Do I put share screen?
Click on select destinations. Nope, that's something else. That's why I told you I'm still learning how to use this. I'll be the worst person to ask.
Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Share screen. Okay, let me see if I'm supposed to share my screen. Window. Entire screen. I don't know.
Having issues, questions. No, it says
share. Who am I sharing my screen? Okay. Is this okay? Hold on. We might have something going on here. Do I push play? What the heck? Hold on, y'all. Okay, let me see if
there we go.
I can push play. I'm on play.
So that was if you wanted to show a video.
Playing?
No, it stopped. It started and then something.
Did you see the video?
No, this one's saying watch Trump. So it went to a different, maybe you got to go back. You know how sometimes if you hit that button, it'll go forward to the next video. We found, there it goes.
Hold on, Inez. We're going to get here.
So that was the last one I posted.
About okay, let me just click this one because I don't know what else.
So it's starting. It looks like it's starting at like 8 minutes or so into the video. So K and K said push play and make it bigger. And then we need volume.
You hear it?
Oh, somebody said, I'm happy you're talking about Shrek finally. Lord have mercy. Wow. That is hella funny.
We're going to wait on Boss Chick to do this because I don't know how to do this. Hold on, Inez. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I have no idea how to do that. Dang it. Who said, I'm happy you're talking
Shadow
about...
Black T says...
Yes, Bruce. Bruce practice makes perfect because Boss Chick is here. Good, thank God for Boss Chick. Shit. Woo, Inez, I don't know how to do this stuff.
Girl, I don't either. So don't feel. I'm telling you, stop feeling bad. I don't know. I'm learning. Shoot, this is all a process. How about
I'm
that?
about to get y'all some video. This
See, that's
is
what I'm talking
part
about right there.
of the good life that I tell y'all about. It's just you got all this other shit in between that you got to deal with. But this is where we at.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's what I miss, Inez. Beautiful.
Girl.
Good morning. How's everyone? I hope everyone is good. As you know, I'm rigging this. So I bring that up because it falls almost every time. I think only once it hasn't fallen. But yes, Grand Rising. So coming to you to let you guys know that I'm doing okay. Jay almost had a conniption because I hadn't posted a video and he was checking in on me. It wasn't just Jay, it was Jay and BJ. So Jay Watson and BJ. And I was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. So sorry. But I'm okay. I am, you know, it's interesting because I wanted to address just a little bit the cackling hyena clan or crew, and to talk. So this issue of this concept, rather, because it's not. Let me be clear. It's not that poverty is a concept, but let me elaborate. So we've been talking a lot about what we consider to be poverty and how essentially um, people blame poverty on everything. Like that's the catch-all, or the easy um, that's the easy what's the word? You know what I'm trying to say. But that's the easy excuse that people reach for when we talk about poverty. So many of you, thank you again for joining me on this journey. Many of you have found out about me because of the video that I talked about my poverty and my story growing up. Um, and so the issues of poverty is, I don't want to say it's psychosomatic, like
It seems like the videos
it's
are slow.
not.
I was going to say if you speed it up because they look like I'm talking really slow.
We trying, Inez. We learning back here.
Okay.
Okay, so
Now,
what was that video basically about?
essentially, I was talking about poverty because everybody keeps blaming. So this issue, everywhere we go here, as you already know, people love talking about poverty as determined as it's like it's the determining factor for the reason why people are in the conditions that they're in. So
Yes.
poor character, to me, I find that poor character is the dominating factor. Poverty is a condition, yes, but it doesn't determine who you are as far as a character, as far as who you are inside. So I've talked about that myself. I grew up in poverty, but I'm not walking around stealing from people. I'm not walking around scamming people and doing all
Yes.
the things that people are doing here. To me, that is character. That doesn't have anything to do with poverty and how you've been socialized. People have been socialized to having bad character when it comes to money, and scamming and scheming is acceptable.
Yes.
And they will use the poverty as a crutch or a way to hide behind. But the truth of the matter is you have bad character. You determine
Yes.
who you are. At the end of the day, mama, daddy, all these things aside, government aside, you determine who you are. And see, when we put it that way, then it puts the pressure and the onus on the individual to develop. And nobody wants to talk about that. They want to, oh, it's just easier to blame Carrie. It's so easier to blame government and the system than to say, hey, you know what I've been doing? I need to straighten up and fly right.
Yes. Yes. Do you notice the gaslighting in Ghana?
Uh, It's so much gaslighting. I think I'm gonna explode. There's too much gas.
Yes, yes,
It's too much.
yes, it's
It's
true.
way too bad. I mean, it's fascinating because being here on the ground, you get to see how many people actually don't pay for rent. They don't pay for water. They don't pay
Yeah,
for electric. They don't pay, you know, I'm not even trying to be funny. So how is it you're suffering
right.
and you're not paying a bill in sight? But meanwhile,
Exactly.
you're over here scamming and scheming the people, the very people that came here to build and invest in your companies, build in your, invest in your businesses, build, 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 and then you take, take, take. Okay, make it make sense.
Yes, you're right.
Because they're
Make
not
it make
doing that to the Chinese. They're not doing that to the whites, the Lebanese, and all the other people that are coming here. So they're doing it
exactly.
specifically to the very people that look like them. And they want to call you brother and sister and my friend.
Yes. Now you know on my video, that one that went viral down to hell. Somebody said only Black Americans complain about Ghana. The Chinese and the Indians and the white men don't
That's because
complain.
they ain't around you.
They don't have nothing to complain about,
Because they ain't around you. Let's put
and
it
I
that way.
don't see them.
They don't fuck with them. Excuse me for putting it that
Yeah,
way. But
yeah,
it's very explicit and it's very clear. If you notice, the Lebanese stick with their own community, the Chinese stick within their own community, the whites stick within their own community. And just watch, you've been here. So I don't explain how they run to the white people and come to their
yes,
aid and do
yes,
things that they don't do with us.
yeah,
So it's very clear the difference in the treatment, and like I
yes,
said, part of my challenges, the challenges that I face now, is because I came here all gung-ho and brother and sisterly love and pan-Africanism, brother and sister, all this other stuff, because I grew up, there was a lot of Africans where I'm from. So being from Oakland, I learned Swahili in school, and lots of Ghanaians where I was from as well. So I'm thinking that I was going to get, that's where I went wrong. I was thinking I was going to get the treatment that I gave them when they came to California, when they
yes.
made the trek to, transition there. I wanted to make it as smooth as possible and be supportive and looking out for them as well. So I really was expecting the same treatment, but like I said, boy, was I wrong. I
Inez,
was
you have a question up here, and if anybody would like to come up, you have questions, you can come up. The link is in the chat. Boss
Hi,
Chick, do you have a
Victoria.
video? Do you have a video you want to play, Boss Chick, after Inez answers this question? This is from Victoria Dove. Inez, can you
Yes,
see
I
it?
see Victoria. Yeah, I am. Things are, I'm sorry that I don't like to be the complainer, Debbie Downer type thing, but if you're being honest. So if you guys don't know, literally less than a month after I moved in here, the neighbor of the son of the neighbor next door literally broke into my place. So I had some land, part of that Pan-African and Cebu village thing. And I took a million years, it seems, to sell it, but I sold it. And no sooner than I sold it, I brought the money home, have a witness to blah, blah, blah. The people next door had a key to my house and I didn't know. And they had been coming and going. And I kept noticing stuff being out of place. I'm anal as all get out. So for me, if I sit something down, I know exactly and you know how you know you're looking for it because you're like, well, and I'm getting older too. So I'm like, I laugh because I'm like, maybe I'm developing some,
Okay, so what you did was you started second guessing yourself.
that part. And then
Yes.
one particular day, I was like, now I know I wouldn't have put it nowhere else but here. So I was like, let me hurry up and go and get the camera set up so I can catch if anybody is in here. And no sooner than I said that, the boy was caught on camera coming into my house. And I mean, when I say my heart, I couldn't tell you how my chest, in the cartoons, the feeling, how in the cartoons when you see the chest jumping out through the skin, and that's how I felt. I had to sit down and regroup the whole bit because I was like, I didn't know who the boy was. That's how I was like, okay, so how do I find out who this person is? Are they visiting? Because it was at the time of what we call a fache. And I know you know what that festival is, Kim. So it was during a fache or during when people was coming for a fache. So I'm like, okay, if all these people are here, it could be a visitor, it could be a tourist, it could be anybody. So I'm like, so how do I find out who it is? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm freaking out. So yeah, fade out, fade in. They came and got the boy. And Ghana has this new law that they literally send the person back home 48 hours after they've been arrested. And so essentially he was sent back home to spend all of my money and buy pizza and just do stupid shit. So, and then the father, see, my issue is the father had threatened me. And
Yeah.
so when the father had threatened me, to me, that was a problem because the police officer was present and he had also threatened him too. So I was like, so when do you guys actually take anything serious? Because we are still on the heels of this whole Naomi murder trial thing. So I was like, so when do you guys actually take any of this serious? Right. So I did let him know. I was like, I'm telling you right now, if anything happens to me and my brother comes up here and finds out that y'all knew about what was going on and you didn't do nothing, I'm letting you know, y'all gonna take something. So
Right.
it's just that they don't take anything seriously. So they're
No.
still living next door, even though the landlord has ejected them, as they call it here, but essentially evicted them. They still here. So I was like, see, there's the double standard, the us against them narrative. Because had I been the one overstaying, y'all saw how the guy wanted me out of the house, even though I had my rent and everything paid.
Yeah.
They wanted me out. So
I don't know
imagine,
if Boss Chick has that video or not.
imagine how they would be doing me if I were the one that broke into their house and doing,
Listen,
I'm not even.
this man, he had a key. He could have come into your house when you were asleep.
I'm still trying. He won't tell how he got the fucking key in the first place.
Oh, you
They
see
won't
what
say,
they just went through,
God,
right?
they won't, they won't. When I say they're putting me through the shit, and so all praises due. I grew up in a rough neighborhood. I've been through a lot. So in a way, this is a walk in the park. But at the same time, me having to always be the lady and keep my emotions in check, because when I say they were laughing at me, baby, they were cracking jokes and I understand a little bit of the Fonty. So the mama especially and the daddy were making jokes. So when because I filed a civil suit. And so when the bailiff came to serve them, they were refusing to accept the civil suit. And they were laughing and carrying on. And I told her, I said, okay, baby, I said, you're going to laugh it now, but when the time comes and you got to show that how much money you're going to have to pay me back, we'll see who's laughing then. But I'm literally like, for me, because I grew up fighting and I literally could have I saw myself pushing her face and her head into that wall. And so I was like, when she did that, my immediate response was, okay, it's time for you to go out and go for a walk. Go for a walk. You know what I mean? That was my thing. And I walked for like it seemed like I walked for like 6 hours that day because I was so mad. But they push you. It's like poking the bear, you know, because I can't come here and steal everybody else's stuff. I can't come and borrow or take your car and drive it around for 18 days and not return. You know what I'm saying? So all the shit that they've been doing to me. And then on top of that, I'll meet a man here that acts, or, especially these big ones, I'll meet them and they'll be in a position of power to help me. And then they do nothing. So everybody comes up there hard, you know what? But what do you do for a sister? You know what I'm saying? That's why I cracked the jokes about it. I was like, I can give some gratitude, or like what's that comedian that was like, oh, a coochie coupon. Okay, we can give you a coochie coupon. Let's do something for a sister. You know what I'm saying? But they do nothing.
Boss Chick has a video, and then Kay has a question. Hold on, let me raise the screen.
I was gone, by the way, K. I was gone when he came in. Oh, yeah, that's the video when they came to my house. But yeah, I was gone. I had just left. He came into my house about 30 minutes after I left. So clearly they had been watching me. Clearly.
Good morning.
I'm still in Canada Police Station.
Yes, hello, Stephen. We've met before.
This is my colleague from Parents Control.
Yes.
And pause it for a second, please. Do me a favor and pause it, baby. Do you know this office? I just found out last Friday, and today is what, the 18th? I found out last Friday that the guy that's in this video that says he was from the rent board didn't even actually work for the rent board.
I believe you. I
literally just found out last Friday that dude didn't even work for the rent board. But y'all about to see him.
No, we'll talk here, please. I don't feel comfortable that you brought all of these people here, and you could have called me into the police station, so I don't feel comfortable.
No, this is not a police case.
I understand. That's why, but you want me to let you guys in, and I feel uncomfortable. You brought 4. There's another one down. It doesn't matter. You're here, though. So it's 4 people against 1, so I don't feel comfortable.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yes, please. Is there something you have for me?
Yeah.
And then, so I should probably record this, too, because she has a camera out, so I should pull this. Yes, please. So 4 against 1, but yes, please. Can you undo this, please?
Okay.
Can you open it, please?
It's sealed. Right?
Okay.
So it should be you to open it.
Okay. It's not coming.
All of that to deliver.
Okay, so what is this exactly? Or if you want me to? Sorry, it's going to tear. It's going to tear. Okay, so let me just read it anyway. It says your attendance is necessary. Thursday, June 13th. So this is next Thursday. Yes? Yes? June 3rd. Next step. Okay. And so this is what you came to deliver to me. Is that correct? Yes. With 4 people. So make sure I record since she has all of these people here, plus the gentleman that was downstairs.
I'm sure you're aware that the landlord has a commission.
You see that guy? That's the one fake breadboard off.
Renew my lease. So that was part of the issue.
Yeah, so he's not even a rent board officer. And the little small boy back there.
Which one is not? What color is he wearing?
So the guy with the little mudcloth shirt on the very right and in the front was supposed to be a rent board officer, and it turns out he's not. He doesn't even work for them. I found that out last week.
This is a comment from your page, Inez.
You have to bring your own locks and keys. Well, the funny thing is I actually brought a lot of stuff with me from the US, and their doors are not made like ours. So their locks are, if you're familiar with like Chinese doors or Turkey doors from Turkey and stuff like that, those are the type of locks and stuff that they have here. It's not the same. But I brought a bunch of stuff, and it's not even the same stuff. So I was like, super molded. Super molded.
Okay, here's one from your page as well.
I'm not sure where the key, like I said, see, here's the thing. In the US, I don't like white people's approach to interrogation, but sometimes it works. And I don't mean, when I say this, I don't mean to be mean, but just like we've been socialized a certain way, one of the things that I notice about being here is that everybody lies. When I say everybody lies, everybody lies.
Everybody.
And it's so common that no one is really expected to be honest about anything. Like literally about anything. And so if someone is caught in a lie, it's just like, oh, somebody farted, just give it a minute and the smell will clear. It's literally that bad. And so the boy, when they asked him where did he get the key, he said, first he said he didn't know. And then he said he got it from when they used to live somewhere else. And I was like, okay, well, where was that somewhere else? Like, who goes around and testing old keys? You know, like, how do you get a key from somewhere and you just gonna go around? So I was like, that's a thief, because why would you go around testing keys? So I'm like, either way, they still never, to this day, I still don't know how he got the key. But all I know is that they have been coming and going in my house. And if you watch the video, the boy clearly knew where he was going when he came in my house. He wasn't like he looked around and rummaged through things and whatever. He had already been doing that. They had already been in my house walking around comfortable. That's how they knew where to go. You know what I mean?
How did you feel, Inez? Okay, you didn't know they were coming, right?
To my house? That was a pop-up. That was a pop-up.
Okay. How did you feel when you opened the door and all these people were there? Like, how did that make you feel?
I was definitely angry. I honestly was angry. And I'd already been having issues with the little punk that was behind the fake rent board officer. Because see, this is why I've been frustrated and I've been shouting it to the world, is look at how I have to maintain my composure. As a lady, I have to constantly maintain my composure, right? But these guys get to lie and fake and bring, so you get to bring a police officer. And so in my journey through here, I've gotten a chance to know the central regional police commander, one of the other police commanders. When I say I've gotten a chance to meet a lot of different people, but at the end of the day, I'm not the one bringing the police officer. So when I went to go talk to the central region's regional police commander and I showed him the video, he was like, hey, he was like, who is this? And he was asking me, who is the guy? And I said, well, he's Stephen Owusu. He's in the Abra police station, because I know the station chief over there. So he was like, but we haven't authorized him to do this. So he has no business being there. And I said, but he is.
Right.
But he is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you showed up with other people and to harass me. When I say my lease hadn't expired, like I hadn't been overstaying or none of that. So you embarrassed me
Why did
bringing
they
a police
want you
officer
out?
as I
Because
was,
it
like
wasn't
I
time
was
for
the
you to
criminal.
move.
And at that time, my water had been off for 6 days because he intentionally locked off my water. So who's the criminal, him or me?
Mm.
So you get to bring somebody like I'm just freeloading, and you get to lock off my water intentionally for 12 days. My water was
Now,
off for
did you
12.
find out if that was legal in Ghana?
It's not legal. I filed complaints
Okay.
at the PURC. I filed a complaint at the police station. I went everywhere and up and down filing complaints. But at the end of the day, they didn't make him, because the lying is so great, they don't make you pay for anything. But like I said, had that been me, my black ass would have been in jail.
Yeah.
Who are you to turn off somebody's water? Water is life. And you turned off my water for 12 days, even though I had paid for the water. You get to just, because you play God and I'm in quote unquote your country, you get to come and cut off my water for a law-abiding citizen and a paying tenant.
Right.
So had I had a quote unquote real man in my life, or even if my brothers was here, somebody need to lay hands on him. That's the only thing. When people talk, you talk and talk. And then sometimes you got to bust some people's lips and blacken some eyes for them to understand.
Yeah. You're right. I understand.
Because this is a joke.
I understand that language.
That I was attempting to renew the lease. It wasn't like I was trying to stay here for free. Do you get? This wasn't a matter of me coming and saying, "Oh, for free," but the issues, as you see, they're very inappropriate in their behavior, and so I've just tried to just let it go. He said he would take it to the rent board. I said, "Okay." I said, "Okay." So I didn't want to argue about it. He said he would take it to the rent board.
He has the permits to.
And this is a fake
and I explained to him that I didn't.
This is a fake officer, and they demanded entry into my home and got entry into my home for what? Like I said, I'm a paid tenant. So what do you need to see? What is this inspection about?
Wow. Who is this in uniform?
His name is Stephen Owusu.
Is he an officer?
Yes, I went straight over there. So I went to the station chief and to the regional commander. So he works at the Abra police station in Cape Coast. And his first name is Stephen, last name is Owusu. So Owusu is on his badge on the right-hand side, you see towards the front. And so I told him, I was like, Stephen, I know your station chief. Stephen has seen me before. So I was like, why would you embarrass me by coming over my house like that?
So you live in Abra, that's your police station?
At that time, I was staying in A4, which is just next door. So the Abra police station, I could literally walk to the police station in like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Wow. So he had no business. It was not, they said to not do these type of things, but because he's probably a friend, or like I said, I'm the outsider, I'm the foreigner. So in their world, I don't have any rights. So I get to do with her as I will, and nothing happens to me.
How do you feel, Inez, about them? First of all, I didn't know. Let me turn my camera on for a second. I didn't know about the year of return. That wasn't what took me to Ghana. I had heard about it on the news, but it didn't interest me. It was no part of my life. But getting there and hearing about the year of return and how they welcomed us, how do you feel about them welcoming us home? And then we basically have to pay to stay there, and they let us know that it's not our home. How do you feel about that?
For me, I always knew that the year term was going to be a money grab. I had already been coming back and forth to Ghana by the time all of that stuff was going on. But what I will say is, with the numbers that are here, as far as diasporans in the community, and so many males as well. See, this is where we start to have to look at one another for accountability and support, because in this situation, I should not have even been over there by myself to have to deal with that. And then when I filed a complaint and everything, where's the solidarity? I mean, even to this day, all the issues I'm facing right now, a lot of it, because Ghana has they go out in numbers. So when they do stuff, you see how they come out and support, they get numbers, right? So, but because I'm single and I'm a woman, I'm going by myself. And so to them, they feel like when I get there, well, we can just do whatever we want to her because she doesn't have any support.
Yeah. Okay.
So for me, a lot of it boils down to that.
Okay. I understand. Yeah, they do come out in numbers. And I pretty much don't move by myself either. I have my husband with me, and depending on what I'm doing, it's probably 2 or 3 other men with me from my village, or I'll take my Muslim brothers.
Yeah. No, I mean, here's my thing is what really angers me about the diasporan community, and I do mean anger, is that so many people here, their priorities are severely off. And
Yes,
so
yes,
you got a
yes.
group of people that are retired, you know, and literally do nothing virtually every day, all day. You
Yeah.
can't find them to do nothing to support any diasporan affairs. But when you look up, they're always doing some kind of volunteer work for this, or we're helping feed the children, or we got an NGO that helps give health care or something to the people. So what do you actually do for your own brothers and sisters?
Yes. I don't
That's
see
my
where the
thing.
Black community, people always ask me, why don't I have why don't I hang with the Black community, and why? And in the beginning, I was around the Black African American community, and to me, and then that was that time. And
Yeah,
then I tried it again. And what I saw was people wanting to they got together to party, get high,
that's all.
get drunk,
That's all.
outdress the Africans, but there was no support. This
Yeah,
lady wanted me to come to a 420 party. I do not smoke, but my husband
yeah,
does. I
yeah.
said, I'm not coming. So I asked my husband, do you want to go? Now, mind you, she's been to my store 4 times and never bought anything ever.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
so she wants me to come to this 420 party. I'm like, but I don't smoke. She said, well, your husband does. So I asked my husband, do you want to go? He's not a party person. So he's like, no, I can stay home and smoke, smoke here. She called me 4 times. I said, look, I have told you 4 times I'm not coming to your 420 party. I don't smoke.
Right,
My husband doesn't want to come. And the truth is, you ain't never bought nothing from my store. Never. There is no support. So don't
yeah,
harass me about coming to a party. I don't smoke. I mean, I barely even know Bob Marley. Girl, get the hell on away from me. God,
right.
look. So I had to disconnect from the Black American pew. Sadly enough, it is sad to say, I had to disconnect myself from the African American community because it wasn't a good place for me. It wasn't a good place for me. It just
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah. No, I definitely feel like more can be done, should be done, etc. But the priorities are severely off, you know. And unfortunately, I find that both male and female have essentially come here and just want to, you know, lay in the cut, if you will, and grind in the you know what. So
Mhm.
it's just, I mean, people prioritize sex here more than they prioritize getting the community together for functions or for things that are actually really important. I mean, Naomi's situation, I don't even know where her cars are. Her cars used to be parked at the police station. Now her cars aren't there anymore. And
The
her home
lady
is a
that was
home
on the live,
occupied. Yeah, her car, she had 2 cars that they had
yes.
confiscated, and they used to be parked at the police station, the regional headquarters. And when I would go there, I would see them parked there. But since September-ish, I haven't seen her cars. So I was like, so who has her cars?
Did
Because you
her
know
family
somebody's driving
come?
those cars. You know somebody's driving those cars.
Did her
So
family come?
I haven't. See, that's the part I don't know if her families come. I don't know if they're occupying her home, but I'm hoping that someone didn't just take the cars and essentially confiscate it and just roll off with it. You
Yeah.
know,
Ray, do you want to come up on stage and talk to Inez? I see you have a couple questions.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Sorry for any noise, but I'm getting home. So
okay.
yeah, I just wanted to ask Inez, do you think, and I know it's been posted, and Yanni, I saw your message, your comment rather, but it's been posted and clearly expressed by the people in Africa that they don't like African Americans. The government is who welcomes African Americans. Do you, like, in your experience, can you say, yeah, they weren't lying to us? That's really how they feel.
And to be honest, the answer is yes. I feel like because it was a money grab, they did force us onto the people. The people weren't ready for that.
Yes,
You know,
I
they
agree.
honestly were not ready. It's like when crack was forced on our community, we wasn't ready.
Yeah,
So I feel like because they weren't, you know, if you want to prep people, you want to give them public service
Right.
announcements, you want to introduce them, they weren't they weren't prepped or primed for any of it. So to just
Mhm.
dump us here, and now you got all of these people here that you've been seeing on television, or at least you've been thinking you've been seeing those kind of people we're on television, et cetera, et cetera. All you
Right.
know is scam and scheme. And because you
Mhm.
also know that your government is geared towards supporting and your own people, you know that nothing's going to happen to, you know, if you do something.
Right.
They weren't
Hmm.
primed. They were, all they knew is that, okay, these people were coming, they're going to have some money. Let's get what we can before anybody else does.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. I know I've seen many things, and I have Ghanaian cousins and Ethiopian friends, and I get treated some type of way, and they're over here in America.
Yeah.
And I think Yanni, I forget who it was that posted, but they are taught. My Ghanaian cousins are literally taught that they're better than us
Oh
African
no, it's
Americans.
it's very clear. No, when I'm here, I get them telling me all the time. We are Ghanaian. They do, the hand thing. If you've been around Ghanaians, they do this
Mhm.
little hand thing. We are
Yeah.
Ghanaians. We are Ghanaians. We are Ghanaians. And I'm like, what the fuck they got to do? That's why I said this whole us against them
Right.
narrative. It really, and that's to me, it doesn't. To me, this is where character also comes back. It always comes back to character because what they got to do with the price of tea in China? Like where I was born and
Not a
where you
damn
were
thing.
born has nothing to do with doo-doo squat. This
Nothing.
is, did you steal the money? Did you break into that woman's house? I got you on camera, baby. Candid camera. And your lawyer sitting up here trying to make it seem like, oh, you was just coming in here to give me a wet kiss. Huh? So
What?
I'm glad. No, I'm joking about that. No, but
Oh, I was like,
when K&K situation happened, I said to myself, and that's why I never posted it. And I even told Jawanza, my buddy, I was telling him, I said, you know what? Because the boy came one day, I'm gonna post the video, but I was trying to be protective of because he's 16 years old. But because they're being arrogant and acting like he didn't break into my house, the boy came into my house when I was gone with no shirt on. And I said to myself, God forbid, because they're asking, how did he get the key? How did he get the key? And I said, God forbid that boy sat up there and lied and said he was having some kind of intimate relationship with me.
Wow.
That's how he got the key. Do you see how tricky that is?
Yes.
So luckily,
right.
it was already proven that I wasn't home, none of that. You know what I'm saying? But imagine you coming in 16 years old and you got a key to my house and you coming to serve me. That's how you've been getting the key. And that's how
Yes.
you've been coming in. See what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's why it was
Yeah.
like, this, if they had the chance to run with that narrative, they would have.
They
But
would
that's
have.
why
Yeah.
like, this is how silly it is. You've been breaking into my house since I moved in, and then you get to play the victim now that you got busted. That's what when I say the mama is playing, when I say she needs an Academy Award, the mother plays this role of poor little Ghanaian, and I'm the rich little, American, and I'm Yama Yadum, which is like by his grace, I'm fine.
Right.
They singing little, she might as well be singing Mahalia Jackson songs and
Yeah.
stuff.
Singing hymns and stuff.
This
Yeah.
was God. And I'm like, this, when I say this bitch, I'll be like, and she was laughing and laughing. And I said, baby, when they hand down that verdict, I'm praying. So I'll tell y'all this because I just thought about it. So what I did was I filed a petition, which is essentially this whole situation with the criminal case. They're trying to spin it and say that I didn't have the money, that I didn't sell the land, that I'm just making it all up and I'm trying to unjustly enrich myself by claiming his client broke into my house and stole money. And I was like, so what was he doing? He came into my house twice that day. I got him on camera just that day twice. So what was he doing?
Right. Uninvited while I wasn't there. So yeah. Explain.
So that's why
Yeah.
that's why I made the joke. I was like, what is he coming to give me a big wet kiss? Like we kicking it, buddies. I gave
Now,
you a key to my house.
Inez, I don't know if you saw Kay's story, but basically they tried to say the same
They
thing.
did the same to her. That's why I brought it
They
up.
did
That's
the
why I
same
said
Now,
they did
listen
the
to
same
this.
to her.
I've told this story before. When I was in Ghana, I was in a hotel. I think we had went to the hotel for about 3 days. Oh, you know what? I had ran away from home again. I always ran away from home.
Stray dog.
So Latif eventually came and he left out to go get some food or some coffee for me or something. And a man tried to get in my room. Like literally, he would not leave. He insisted on coming in my room. I'm like, get to the point where I'm like, get the fuck away from my window. Please just go away. I'm calling the office. They're hanging up on me. Girl, so I called my Muslim, I called Latif's phone. He didn't answer. I called my Muslim brother. He picked Latif up and came immediately. They going back and forth, cussing the guy out. Girl, the man that was trying to get in my room said that I invited him. And that's what they rolled with. That it was just that simple that I invited. While they're talking shit, I'm packing my luggage, rolling it downstairs. Never went back.
He
so
wished.
they're good. They gonna defend their people either way.
Somebody saying, how's the court system? Ooh, baby.
Girl, we can just look at you and K&K's situation and see how the court system over there is. Like there is none. I mean, I'm just gonna say it's non-existent.
It's incredibly unfair towards diasporans. When I say I have evidence on top of evidence, I am an administrator by trade. When I say administrator, people think of secretaries as just being somebody that pushes papers. Baby, I ran businesses. So for me, when I say I'm anal as hell, I keep details, paper trails. That's how we move. And when I say there's so much evidence for all of these cases, but all they do is adjourn and adjourn and adjourn and adjourn. And I said, okay, I'm going to play your game. But at the end of the day, your costs. See, this is where, it was fun because they thought I would have given up by now. Everybody I've talked to, Ghanaian and diasporan alike, they all said they would have given up by now. And that's the expectation. And so right now, what you're looking at is costs. So when you start to, for my car was a means of income as well. So I have literally been walking since last May. Between May and June is when the car issues started to happen, the second engine. So I've been walking this whole time because the car is unsafe to drive. And so now you're talking about almost 2 years worth of costs, meaning loss of income, the loss of value in the vehicle. All of these things, when you start to add them up, they're thousands of dollars. And people don't want to acknowledge that. See, this is my frustration. If you want to play this game of extortion and scamming and scheming, then you got to really factor in what is the actual cost. When you look at it from an economics, macroeconomics, you got opportunity costs. So what are your actual costs? And see, I like money. So when you start talking about how much you costing me, then okay, then let's play this game and let's add, because I like money. How much is it costing me for the loss of income alone? And then you factor in the loss of the value of the vehicle. The vehicle is about $13,000, but you've reduced it to rubble essentially because you sat up here and tinkered with it, fooling around so that I will keep bringing it in for this service and that service. And now you don't even know what's wrong with the car because you have been fooling with it. So now I'm saying, you know what, because you guys have sat up here and destroyed the vehicle to the point where it can't not even start, why don't you just purchase my car outright at the purchase price and you can do whatever you want with the car? Because you've already done it. It's just that I don't have any protection. And so many of them are forgetting that I have receipts for all the purchases and things that I had done to them. So the hubs that somebody took and swapped out, I have receipts for that. The tires, all of these. This is what I'm like, why do something when someone has the receipts for it? It doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense.
But they thought they were smarter than me. They were thinking because I was a woman that I didn't understand cars. So we're just going to we're just going to do all these things and do all these things. And like I said, they were just hoping I would disappear and go away. Well, guess what? We've lost so much money and continue to lose money. But like I said, this is where the diasporan community has the ability to get behind a brother or sister and get to the, like I said, regional police commanders, district commanders, all these different people. Why have we not mobilized? Like I said, people come sometimes for Naomi's murder trial, but they don't even show up for my stuff. So only people that have been riding with me since the last couple of months has been Sue Campbell, who's a Ghanaian, and Sangha. That's another sister that's from the diaspora. And I've literally just linked up with them in the past couple of months. So before this, I was going to all of these cases by myself. Every now and then, Jawanza would be able to meet up with me when I was out in Accra for the case with Delphina. But as far as the community at large, I'm not getting any support. But you want me to come to your events and donate and volunteer and things like that. And for the most part, I did up until a certain point. When I realized they weren't going to exchange, there was no reciprocity. Why should I keep doing that to myself? Why should I keep coming volunteering at your program and doing this and doing that? And then at the end, I'm looking like Willie Foo-Foo because I'm supporting you and you're not supporting me. If you're saying something, I can't hear you all of a sudden, baby. Unmute your...
Oh, no. I was just nodding in agreement. Like there has to be a even exchange and reciprocity, and they don't understand that. I think for me, what I've seen is the diaspora kind of goes over there and assimilates just to avoid any type of what you and K went through, what Miss Kim went through, other people that haven't come forward yet. They kind of assimilate so that they don't. And I know assimilation is usually tied to European influence or Caucasus influence or whatever, but it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, I was telling Inez, I don't participate in any of that stuff anymore. I don't. It's me and my husband. That's it. If we want to go to all these naming ceremonies and all of it, we don't do it because you don't get that same support. So that's if we want to go to something, we will. But no. Everything is about money. No, everything is about money. So
I mean, what is the alliance pays you for? And I don't mean, see, this is where as women, we always get told how we're supposed to be supportive and giving and all of these things, but it's usually to the detriment of yourself. You know, so unfortunately, I have had to, not unfortunately, but fortunately for me, I've put myself psychologically in a place where I said, you know what, it can't be to the detriment of myself. I don't mind giving and building and all of those things, but we have to be able to get something back, because what's happening is that you're pouring and pouring from a cup that is at some point is going to become empty. And then if you're only able to refill your own cup, okay, but you're still pouring out, you gotta find a way to balance that, because takers don't have limits. Takers, they just keep taking. And if you don't put a tap on that, they'll just drain you. They'll drain you to your blood dry, and going on to the next person. They won't feel nothing about what they've done to you. They won't.
Oof, child. Let me see.
So that's pretty much what I've been doing here. I mean, we have so much work.
So we'll be waiting down.
No, I will do it now. We've already. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Listen, on Thursday.
You see this? Can you?
On Thursday.
Can you excuse him? No, he's too aggressive. This is the problem we're having. He's too aggressive.
No,
he's way too aggressive. I already have the paper.
On Thursday, early in the morning, you have to see you over there.
I understand.
Right? No, I need to tell her. I need to let her know.
Blah blah blah.
So, question, that young man, that young man that you were having the disagreement with right there, I don't want to call it altercation, but disagreement, that's the one that you had been having issues with prior to them showing up, right?
Yes. So I didn't realize, and I'm not big about like, ooh, I'm pretty and all of that, but I get told that I'm all the time. I don't care. It don't make
you are. Yeah.
And so it came out when we went to the police station. The reason he said he cut off my water is because I didn't talk to him. And so the CID officer, the crime officer, he's like, what is she, your girlfriend? What's she supposed to talk to you for? You know? So yeah. So the CID officer, when he asked him why he cut off my water, this ninja literally replied, because I didn't talk to him. So it was like, to him, you know, he wanted me to talk to him. He wanted to be able to keep bugging me for money, because that was his thing, is he wanted to be able to keep demanding money for this, more money for that. And I'm like, but you haven't fixed the water leaks in the house. You haven't even compensated me for my losses. You just keep asking for money. So I was like, you know what? No. I was like, don't call me. Don't knock on my door no more. Leave me alone. I've already paid you. Leave me alone. And he didn't like it. So I was like, okay, you have to leave. So he kept interrupting, kept messing with me. I was like, okay, you got to move. Come on, close the gate. Come on, bye. You got to leave. You're interrupting my peace. You know what I mean? Bye.
Inez, what was your for as long as you've been in Ghana, what was your scariest moment in Ghana, or did you have one?
When I wouldn't say scariest, but definitely when I saw the boy in the house, that was one. But that's not my first break-in here, but that was the one I caught on camera. You know what I mean? When somebody stole my purse out of my car a couple of years ago during a fashe, I practically had a heart attack as well. Literally took the purse out of my car because I had rolled my window down, and that was me slipping, because I usually kept my purse in between my legs.
You were in your car when he stole it?
I was in my car. So the guy, you know, typical is same thing we would do in Oakland. Come say something to you on this side while the other person on this side say something to you. And I had forgot that I had picked up my purse and put it in the passenger seat, which I never did. Like, even to this day, I don't do that. But at the moment, I was trying to dig for something, and I couldn't get to it while I was digging between my legs and driving. So I threw it in the passenger seat to let me, you know, pull something like that out. And no sooner than I did that, the guy reached in and grabbed my purse while the guy over there was distracting me.
Wow. Shadow Black T says, have you all seen that show on HBO Max called Coming from America? It's about a Black family moving to Africa. I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
And if it's on HBO Max, I ain't never gonna see it, because I'm not
even know what the name of it is. I mean, the question is, how honest would they be? You know, because you're trying to cater to the masses. So how honest are you going to be? I don't think it's going to be that honest, to be honest. Under my thoughts, I doubt it. Because very few people, my frustration, like I'm okay. Like I said, I'm for respectable dialogue. Even when I disagree with you, I'm not going to get out and just start talking crazy and whatnot. A lot of these people, especially the ones when you speak negative about something or say something that they don't like, the way that they approach you is with unnecessary, I wouldn't even say fire, but unnecessary aggression and disrespect.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they feel like you're supposed to tolerate that kind of indignant behavior. And I don't. I'm the only girl. My brothers are afraid of me. So they know I'm off the Richters. So why would you start? See, that's my thing is don't be no punk. Why are you starting stuff and then you want to head for the hills when it get thick? Don't. That's my only issue is talking hard and you soft as butter. Quit playing. That's all I'm saying is quit playing.
Yeah.
Don't
Stand on business.
I had an incident in the chief's office one time. Somebody that I know stole a phone from one Africa, and he called me because I was really close to him. He was 18, and he said, "Mom, can you? I'm going to meet with the chief and the man who stole our phone. I stole, but can you come with me because I'm afraid to go alone?" And I said, "Okay, I'll go with you, but I can't vouch for you or nothing because you stole the phone. You admit to stealing the phone." But he was just afraid to go alone. So me and my husband went. My husband told me, "Hajia, don't get in that. It's not our business." And I said, "Well, he's young. He just wants some support. I'm not going to talk. I don't know nothing."
Okay.
I get there. We're in the chief's little voodoo type of, room, and all these gods and stuff in there. And the guy who's owned the resort, One Africa, was sitting there, and the chief,
at the time.
everybody's talking. And so now the chief tells me it's my time to talk. So I'm just telling the chief what I heard is hearsay. And I be damned if he didn't stand up and start, you mean to tell me you got, I said, hold on. Stop talking. Don't yell at me like that. I'm not your child. Stop talking to me like that. Girl, that man stood up and started yelling at me. I said, hold on. I told you, don't motherfucking yell at me like that. I'm not your bitch. I ain't your wife. I don't suck your dick. None of that shit. Watch who the fuck. This is how ugly it is. God is my witness.
Right?
Because what makes you think you can talk to me like that?
Right.
Not a minute. The chief don't speak no English. He don't know what's going on. He just knows something's happening. So that my brothers who are there is explaining to the chief what's happening. I see the chief telling me, calm down, calm down, calm down. So I was respectful and quiet. They asking me like, Kimberly, you don't talk like that in here. I said, look, I ain't never been in one of these places. They know not to talk like that in here. I don't know the rules in here, but I'm not going to be disrespected.
Why were they allowing him to talk that way to you? Why were they allowing him to talk that way to you?
The chief don't know what he's saying, but the people that's telling me to calm down, they know what he's doing wrong.
They didn't tell him to calm down?
No, they didn't. Now, the chief talks to us through translation. He's calm. He understands my anger. He understands what happened. And he tells us we're brother and sister from the United States. I love Shabazz. Trust me. As wishy-washy as he is, I do have love for him. We have love for people like, we just do. The chief tells us to hug. I walk up and hug him, girl. He stood stiff like this, but the chief saw everything. So, we dismissed the meeting and it was over. But, they don't take accountability. I forgot what I was even telling my story for, Inez. I don't forgot.
Don't worry, girl. It's fine. Trust me.
That was something about disrespect. I can't even remember now.
No, the disrespect I find here is paramount. It's on so many different levels. It's in so many different ways. And this is why I said getting any involved. At the end of the day, we have taught these people here how to treat us through our actions or inactions. And because our men don't come to fend for them collectively, our men don't come and defend us. And this is a patriarchal society. Then they feel like, well, maybe if their men don't defend them, then they don't need to be defended. They don't deserve to be defended. You get what I mean? Like that's kind of the mindset. Because if their own men don't care about them, then why should we?
Yeah.
And so you have this, unfortunately, when a lot of these brothers get these little positions, they sort of take the role on as now it's my job to protect and defend their people and their women. We don't have to pay any attention to the Black woman. So the Black woman, like I didn't come here to get married. I'm still single. So for me, I didn't come here for all these distractions and all this fuckery, if you will. And
Right.
so because I don't want to participate in that, then I'm almost like I'm the bad guy because I'm not
Yeah.
willing to let myself be used and taken advantage of by some, varmint who's going to essentially come and just be a burden for my pocket.
Right.
He's
Right.
going to think he's
Right.
going to lay pipe to me and make me fall in love and want to take him to America. Psych.
Psych.
So it's just like at the end of the day, my question I've always said to people is, how do you turn all of this around? Because when I say we have so many problems here, but people's priorities are always seeming to come down to sex. When it both on men's side and the women's side, I've seen the women sleeping and getting these little house boys, these little boy toys, and sleeping with them. And
Really?
and then I'm seeing the men get these little women, and it's like, how do you fix that when folks aren't even paying attention? Let's focus on what's important.
Yeah.
You can't even move forward. You can't move that bar forward when you're still over here on primitive, lower sexual desires.
Right. Bossy, do you have another video? If you have any comments for Inez, please click the screen and come up. Let's watch this video real quick.
I didn't pay for the other passenger.
I don't know. I know you are with him. But
Just because you see me with somebody doesn't mean I am with them.
Madam, please,
You have to collect the fare from the person.
Madam, please, I'm working. So,
Sir, you owe me 6 CDs at least.
From
So I gave you 20 CDs.
Kingsway
I
to
gave you
here
20
is-
CDs.
It's 5.
I gave you 20 CDs. From there to here is 5 CDs. But it's just me from there. It's 5. I gave you 20 and you gave me 10
From
CDs
Kingsway
back.
to here is 5 cities now.
It's 5. So you gave me 10
are
CDs.
two. So what do
You
want
gave
me
me
to do?
10 CDs back. You owe me another 5 CDs.
Madam, please get down and let me go. Here, they will come and catch me. They have got no
You are,
money
but I'm saying you owe me another 5 CDs.
I'm not owing you.
You do. You owe me 5 CDs.
He lucky I didn't punch him. I should punch him.
What I'm saying is, I gave
You
you.
are working with him.
Just because you see me walking with somebody doesn't mean that I'm paying someone's fare.
Madam,
I didn't pay his fare.
But you are too.
Sir,
You
as a
stop
driver,
me,
it
madam,
is your job to collect the fare from
You
the
stop me
passenger.
only, or you are
Doesn't
two.
matter if I stop him or you stop you.
Madam,
You're a man. He's a man. You should have collected the
I
fare
don't know.
from
I know
him.
you are with him. Please.
It doesn't matter if you saw
Madam,
me talking to somebody.
Madam, 5 cities.
This is 10 CDs. I gave you.
You hear him
10
say 5 CDs is nothing to you?
It's not 2. I am by
5
myself.
CDs is nothing to you.
Yep.
You hear him say 5 CDs is nothing to you?
Yes, and they'll say that a lot. What was happening here, Inez?
So the guy, I happened to run into somebody I knew at Malcolm. You know where Malcolm is. So
Yeah.
we got in at Malcolm and we just happened to exchange pleasantries. I hadn't seen him in a minute, but I don't know him like that. The guy got out of the car at Paydu. Didn't pay, but I didn't know anything. He said something to him in Fonte, but nothing was exchanged between me. So when I got down at Abra, he talking about, oh, you are too. And I'm like, what do you mean? I sat there and argued with him for like 8 minutes or more before I turned the camera on. So I was like, I'm arguing, you owe me money. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't get in with it. Just because you see me sitting with the guy and talking to him doesn't mean I got to, like, we're a couple. And if anything, see, men in Ghana are the providers. See, this is my frustration and my thing that I got with all these sisters coming over here, getting they Stella got their groove back thing. You've turned the men into pussies. So all of these little small boys that they keep meeting, they're expecting you and me and all the other sisters coming in after him to pay. So if we, as a local woman, the local women, the men pay. So why would I pay for his fare? So I'm trying to explain to him, if anything, that man would have paid my fare. Why would I be paying for somebody else?
Do you think when they spoke in Fonte that he was saying that you were going to pay?
He might have. And you know, the next time I saw that dude was just a couple of weeks, not even a couple of weeks ago, about last week. I told him, and I said, when I saw him, I told him Fabra, which means bring it. I told him, you owe me some money. Fabra. And he laughed. And I said, no, seriously, you owe me money. You know what I mean? So that's the last, and that was just last week. So you could see from this day to this video to the end. So I didn't know. It's not like I know him and I run around with him, hang out with him. But either way, your job was to collect the fare. How do you demand? So now it's like you, and he's not. So now what I've started doing is one little boy did this something similar to me in a Prague about a month ago. And I went in his bag and took my money out. I told him, you think I'm playing with you? I'm old enough to be your mother. Quit playing with me.
Wow.
So I'm like, these niggas think I'm playing. You're going to give me my goddamn money.
Right. Ooh-wee. Girl.
So
go ahead, boss.
They play.
Click play, boss.
Me by myself.
So now if I give you one, I'm going to find him.
The point is, sir, you collect your fare from each passenger, yes? You collect the fare from each passenger. You're stealing from me.
I'm sorry. Next time
No,
I'll
it's not
ask.
Come
sorry.
on,
You're
sorry, next
stealing.
time.
So what do you want me to do?
You know what?
Pussy
I'll
hole.
report you. I'm going to
Come on,
report you
next
for
time.
stealing my money.
And of course, I reported him to the station chief in Abra, and nothing happened. And so that's
Of
why I said,
course.
at the end of the day, why are all this time, or why are any of this, because like I said, you clearly got a picture of him. So somebody, because Cape is a small town, everybody knows one another. So at some point, somebody knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, I'm tired of playing these games with y'all. So now that I realize how they move and how they play, girl, I just reach in. I've twice in the last couple of months, I've had to reach in people. You gonna give me my money? Quit playing. So now I was like, okay, now I see what I got to do with y'all. I was like, y'all don't understand how old I am. I look like this little young girl, and she's like, oh, she's so young. You can give me my money.
Shadow Black T is trying to connect. Boss Chick, what's going on with her connection?
No, I try to have exact change, but you run out of exact change. And why should this be the scam all the time? You know what I mean? Every day is something different.
And they drive all day. They have change.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. What'd you say?
They drive all day. They have change.
Oh, of course.
Did Black T come up?
Yeah, I heard another voice.
Hold on. Black
At
T,
least
are
I
you
thought I
trying to
did.
come up?
Yodele, 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 hee-hoo.
This person is actually from your channel.
I thought I heard some more. Huh?
I said this person is actually from your channel.
I don't even know how you can tell.
It shows me your link.
Okay, so I just happened to see to turn up the volume. So can you guys hear me good now?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, good. I don't hear Black T though, so maybe try her again.
She's down. She
says I'm trying to.
Okay. Boss, click the link again. Click the link, Shadow Black T. Click the link again, and let's try to bring you up.
But yeah, change. I mean, like I said, you can have change all day long. My bag was so heavy, I had so much change because I had to change in coins. But at the end of the day, after you run out of change, I mean, literally, you're going to be constantly looking for change. See, this is what I said. It always goes back to character, because this isn't nothing to do with the government. This ain't got nothing to do with this. This ain't got nothing to do with that. This has to do with character, because people with good character developed respectable behavior, whatever. You wouldn't even be pulling these. Literally, good people you don't need to. This wouldn't even be a conversation.
Is this a video, Boss Chick, that's on the screen?
Yeah, that's the us against them narrative that I was talking about. The video.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do this while a Black T comes up.
Yeah. So if she wants to hit,
we have 53 people in the chat. Can you please like and share the live? We would appreciate it.
And now I don't. Okay, no, I'm not frozen. All right. I thought I was frozen for a second.
Okay.
Update, which is going to be a long video about the us against them dynamic that we have going on here. As everyone may be already aware, if you've been watching me in my journey here, this us against them, and like I said, it's really like, if you know me, like I literally grew up around a ton of Africans, which it doesn't matter, right? But you would think that this us against them narrative you would hope that it doesn't exist, but it's so strong and so prevalent that everything literally becomes about us against them. Something as small as the prices, and people will often exaggerate their issues of poverty to get you to compensate them for it, essentially. I can't think of the word that I'm trying to, it's another saying, but essentially, it's this fight, us against them. And so it's a combination of us against them and the problem with not fighting. These challenges. So today there's been a 10-month delay in a case that I had against a former landlord who would not stop trespassing and damaging property when she would do it, or when she would have people come over and do it. And so there literally has been a 10-month delay. This is the first time we've been back to court. And so I was asked to, or I was essentially ordered by the judge, but she asked, it was polite, told me that I needed to get a copy of the proceedings so that when we come back to court, I could address them if there and correct any errors if there were any. Now the issue is getting a copy of those the order. I had to go to the clerk, and of course I needed to dash her some money, and then after that ask for the copy of the proceedings. And of course, there's no price for the proceedings. And so immediately I'm told that I'm a foreigner and I have
I have
dollars, so I
dollars.
can afford whatever price they gave me. There's no price listing anywhere. It's not required to be listed. And this, like I said, this whole us against them. So because you think I'm a foreigner and I have dollars, even though I've been living here with y'all for the last how many, almost 3 years now, somehow I'm just made of money. So while we waited for the judge to come in, I have a case that I had already won against a realtor who I was actually going to be renting from before I rented from that lady. He never actually gave me the keys to move in. And so when he didn't give me the keys to move in, et cetera, I was like, you know what? It sounds like you're not ready. Why don't you just give me the money back? Because I had paid him. The whole agreement was that when I give you this money for the place, you're going to give me the keys.
Yep.
Magically, mysteriously, when it's time to turn over everything, I'm giving him the money. I'd already given him the money, and we were in process of changing for the keys. I'm waiting for the keys. Keys aren't around. So this fool had me wait over a year. I'm going back and forth with him to get my money. He gave me a portion of it, and so he owed me a little more than 6,000 CDs at the time. And then, of course, when you factor in interest, which is fair because you sat up there and held on to somebody's money, this guy had still not paid the rest of the money till today. And so the part, if you're not familiar, you have to go through these what they call a entry of judgment, a formal decree, etc. Um, and so I did all of that, and he still hadn't paid. So the next part was the 5A, or what they call a 5A, and that's where you go and or you file for it and have the sheriff take possession of their movable and movable property. And that's what I did. And so they were like, "Oh, you want to go and take his car just for 700 CDs?" And I was like, "He would take mine." Like they won't let you if you owe. See, this is the cold part. Us against them. If you owe them money, they will not let you sleep. But 20 CDs, 25 CDs. I literally had a fight with somebody, not a fist fight, but a verbal battle over 25 CDs that I didn't owe, but 25 CDs, literally.
You paused. Hey, I can't hear you guys any. Okay,
was saying, what was going on here?
So,
there. Okay.
Okay, did you want to get her question?
Oh, go ahead real quick and explain. And
long story short, the guy was mad that I won the case, and he didn't want to pay the remaining balance on. He figured I was supposed to just let it go. That's what he was saying. I should just let it go. And I was like, no, you still owe me 720 CDs. You need to pay me. So he got loud and started talking about how I needed to go back to my country, and if I needed money to go back to my country, all this blah 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 blah. And I was like, first of all, you owe me money. So I was like, what the fuck you mean? I'll go back after you pay me my money. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he got all loud and started talking crazy. And, I had to let him know what it was,
Okay. Hello, Shadow Black Tea. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm here. I can hear you now.
Oh, good evening, ladies. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
We're pretty good. I've been following Miss Passport Traveler, and I did see a little something about Miss Inez. And I'm so sorry y'all going through this. You seem like very genuine women. You know what I mean? Just trying to experience your next phase in life.
Thank you.
And no one should have to go through that, especially working as hard as you work to get your money together and to take that leap of faith to get out of America.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to say. It's been years that I've been thinking about this, me and my husband, and I'm like, it's getting worse and worse here. Where do we go? So my question was to Inez.
Yeah.
Do you really think it's worth it as far as like we're going into retirement, me and my husband, especially my husband, he's older than me. Do you think it's worth it, to just pick up everything and build a home knowing that it might not be left for your children? um, with the quality of life, I know it's probably different, even though we deal with stuff here in America. But to you, is it worth it to just settle down there, in the second phase of life, and then have to worry about, the money that you did put away with, and for us, it would be for us to just go and relax, not to try to get involved in a lot of things. But
Okay,
it's definitely
yeah.
not to go there to party or to, indulge in any recreational activities. It's just to just relax because we both work hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my question to you. And if you don't want to answer, I understand, you know what I mean?
No, baby,
But
please. I think everyone's situation or outlook is different. And for me personally, knowing what I know now, I would say no. I would say no.
mhm,
Because and I also shipped my stuff here. So I literally put all of my stuff in a container and shipped it here. And that's what makes me tearing away so much more difficult. Um,
mhm,
on one hand, it's a beautiful country, and if the least amount of exposure or time you have to spend with people, then the better. But then
mm,
the challenges come when you have to, reach out to someone. And what I mean is sometimes the way people build here is shoddy and intentionally shoddy, and that forces you to have to seek help. Even just as women here being by ourselves, it's a way it forces us to seek help. And each time what it does is it forces you to get one of them involved in your personal affairs. And that's also
mm,
a problem, getting someone else involved in your personal affairs. And
Yes.
so it makes it very difficult because every time you turn around, it's going to involve money. So if you need this fix, sure, I'll help you for a fee. Oh, you need that? Sure, I'll help you for a fee. And at the end of the day, if they fix something, you have to know if they really fixed it.
Yeah.
And if they fix it, did they break something else in the end? So you'll come back for that to be fixed. It's that kind of fuckery that's going on here that makes me really want to pause. Because unless
yeah,
you have money coming in, so for me, I'm 46, for example. I'm not of a retirement age or social security collecting age. So when my money is completely finished, what am I supposed to do?
mm,
And see, no one thinks about that. They are so used to being able to abuse the diasporan community that has the resources, meaning a pension coming in or social security, that they can just afford whatever losses. You
mhm,
know, it is a merry-go-round of shenanigans. That's exactly what it is. So every day it's something. It's just constantly something because that's the only way they know how to pump money into the system. They don't think about from the perspective of we're going to build together and we're going to make this money together. They don't think about it that way. Like literally, when I came and touched ground, set foot on the ground, it was go time for me. I came and I bought a pub or I bought a shop that I converted into a pub and I was willing to invest in other people's businesses. Let's do this and let's make this bread together. Let's do this. They don't
mm,
come to that mindset. So it's like the squirrel taking the nut and running and burying it for himself. So if the squirrel dies, nobody knows where the nuts are. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody starves. So it's this constant mindset of just trying to grab my little bit, grab your little bit, and we all sort of run off with our pieces together, but no one really knows how to build together.
Yeah.
And so you're constantly going to always be. And then the problem with also many of us, if we do find homes or build homes, we're kind of building it in the middle of nowhere, which leaves many of us vulnerable because then what happens is like Anobi and other people, what that happens is sometimes they come in, like Naomi, she was in the middle of nowhere. And this fool just decided it was okay to kill her and just bury her in the back of her house. And nobody would notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on one hand, or you have the flip side of a Sase Pa story. If you've ever heard about a Sase Pa, they literally demolished that
oh,
establishment. The
Oh, they
business and
yeah,
the
did.
homes.
I remember
So
that.
whenever they get ready, you have that situation that can happen, or they can come along and kill you, and they can have, you just never know. So it makes you uneasy because you want to be able to invest and buy a house. Yes, absolutely. That sounds great. But then you have things like, or if you buy the land, like Jawanta, my buddy that's on here, the Travel G, he has some land in the cross. Sorry for throwing your business out there, Jay. But and then they say, oh, it's government land. Huh?
Yeah.
I remember that one.
But it's that kind of stupid stuff. So when you say, okay, so how do we build? See, my thing is holding people accountable. And so if you want to take somebody's land, then you need to, as a respectable and God-fearing or whatever person with good character, then that means you have to replace it with something comparable. You can't just take somebody's land where they paid for it and then say, we ain't going to give you nothing in return. Punch them up to get me down. You can't do that kind of stuff. But because that kind of fuckery is normal here, then everybody's like, oh, well, it's just Ghana. No, we have to do better. And then when you saying you want people to be accountable, you become the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You become the bad guy.
Yes.
I have another question.
PG, let me answer that question also, if you don't mind. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm reading a comment and calling you the wrong name. Shadow Black Tea. So I have a slightly different opinion. Now, Inez has been through a lot in Ghana. I went through a lot as well, but I didn't go through what she went through. Me and my husband is pretty much homebodies. We stay at home or we stay on the land at the store. We don't really get out. But I agree. I've said for the last year that my problem is always when I have to go out into the public and face somebody, either at a store, the light company, somebody to fix something at the house. As long as I'm home, it's me and my husband, and we're cool. We don't have no problems. Us. Now,
the moment you got to go out, though.
Yes. Do I think it's worth it? I kind of do, because the U.S. is out of control. Like, you have to go somewhere. And I don't care where you go. It doesn't seem like we're accepted anywhere we go. One country might be better than the next, but I like being in Ghana because at least I don't look different. I'm not in a Chinese country. I'm not in Europe. I'm in a place where at least I look like these people. And like I said, there's a lot of people, you're like me. I didn't come to fight for no rights, change Ghana, do none of that. I wanted my peace and serenity and be left the hell alone. That was it. And my husband is the same way. He don't want nothing. There's a people there, older people, I will say, that retired, that's living in their homes and loving Ghana and don't have no problems. But like Inez said, when you have to go out, prepare to already be able to deal with these people, because I've walked into government offices and they looked at me like they hated me already, just because they probably had to deal with somebody like me a year ago. But on the other hand, I've experienced them not even knowing if I was one of them or American until I spoke. They don't really know who you are until you speak, unless you dress a certain way. But yeah, I would still say that it's worth it to go, because you just described you and your husband. Y'all kind of just want to build your house, mind your business and don't get involved with nothing. And we hoping and praying that this new president will change things, because when I first went to Ghana wasn't like it is now. When I came back to Ghana I was gone. I think the second time I was gone 3 months. When I went back in 3 months, the whole Ghana everything was different. Prices were high. $8 sausages were $18. I mean, it was the whole Ghana was different. So I'm hoping that this president will make Ghana a great place. And I do have faith that he will. I don't have no choice but to have faith. So what was your second question? Or you want to comment on that?
Okay, I also have another question, because I've kind of been torn also. I did find out, as far as my background, as far as being absolutely native to this land. And being that I'm like, okay, do I still want to sit here and fight over the land that I found out that we have, which is a big piece of land? I want to sit up here and go through that, because I'm noticing over there, it's a lot of clicked up activity. Like, you have the Israelites, they call themselves Israelites. You have Pan-Africans, and you have, the people from the Caribbean. It's not like it's one moving unison. So
No.
me being that I don't really belong in neither place, even though I want to be around people that have the same melanin and, you know, hey, look, this is what it is. I'd rather be around y'all than be around, you know, anybody else. But, you know, and just to feel that peace and see a whole sea of people that, you know, have the same melanin, the same color, the same hair texture. I know it'll be a beautiful feeling, but also feel welcome. Even if I try to reach out, would it be like a whole, well, you're not, you know, you one of them so-called, you know, people that think that they're native to America, you know, when I have the proof, you know. But I was just wondering about that because I do want to come in as my true self. I don't want to have to try to fit in anywhere. You get what I'm
Well,
saying?
I personally feel that, especially because I've traveled to a lot of different countries as well. So for me, growing up, just being conscious, I felt that same draw or desire to be around my people, quote unquote, amongst my people, if we want to use that term loosely. But after this experience of being treated the way I've been treated, I don't give two shits anymore. So for me, there's a guy I follow named Nomad Capitalist, and I'm using his term, and he says it all the time, go where you're treated best. And we are not treated well here by any, we're just not treated well. And so for me, I like the weather and climates that are similar, where it's like Thailand and Cambodia, Jamaica, Fiji, you know, different, because I like warm climates, tropical climates. Because at the end of the day, do you want to be fighting? Like, I'm from Oakland. Oakland was war torn when I was growing up because I grew up during the height of the drug, you know, the war on drugs. And during that was very difficult for our communities, the whole Bay Area. So for me, when I finally got a chance to get out of the US and that mindset, I really wanted to come and focus on my peace. Even my energy of letting my nails grow out, letting my hair grow out, self-care. All of these things were really important to me. And so then I get here and I'm always fighting about something. So is that peace? You know what I mean? I'm not wanting to fight, but they bring the fight to you. And because the little parasitic peon brains can't think of any ways to generate income aside from scamming and scheming people, then everything, like once you get out of your peaceful, you know, four walls, then you have to be introduced to all of the fuckery. And so do you want to deal with that, or do you want to go to a place where people naturally, the disposition is different? Where they're not naturally trying to scam you and scheme you, where they're not naturally mad to see you and all, you know what I mean? Like people here be talking about, oh, they want to be friends, baby. That translation, that means I want to have access to you so I can get what I want. The friendship ain't got nothing to do with none of it, okay? So they'll be like, oh, they are friends. They seem friendly. Baby, don't believe the hype. That is not naturally friendly. So for me, I'm over it. Seeing black people is great. You know, I grew up in Oakland. Oakland was predominantly black when I was growing up, but I want safety. So if that means me being around predominantly green people, then okay, fine. Do I want peace? Yes. If that means me going up around orange people, I'm fine. So I think you have to be good and tired of all the other bullshit in between. Then don't matter. But that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, I appreciate you ladies for talking to me because, like I said, we've been sitting on the fence. But I'm like, now they seeing drones in the sky. It's just getting crazy. I mean,
yes, I heard about the drones. I was like, what the hell?
It's just getting, I'm like, look, I can't wait for this stuff to get handled with this land. I'm about ready to go. It's like, we got to figure something out. Just telling him. But I appreciate you ladies talking about this subject.
Thank you, darling.
And y'all all have a good night.
Thank you.
I don't know how to leave this chat. Do I just hit leave?
I don't even know. Let me see if I can take you down.
I don't know either.
Okay. I think I took you down. Hold on, y'all can't even see this comment. Can somebody read? What my glasses? Hold on.
It says, Kim, do you think they treat you better than Inez because you're married? Do you think that makes a difference? Or do they treat all Black American women the same? And absolutely, the answer is yes. I'm not saying all of it is different because she's married, but a lot of it is.
You think so? See, I don't know because I'm not around any.
Absolutely.
I know single Black Americans there, but I'm not around them to know how they're treated or anything like that. I do
And
have
that's
a
why I can
good,
say it. You know what I mean? Me
yeah.
being, as you know, it, and the reason I can say this is because, like I said, I grew up around Africans, and it's very much like that amongst Jamaicans, Africans, people in general. To be a woman unmarried, even in the U.S., believe it or not, if you go back to the old age in the old days, to be an unmarried woman was actually a
Boston,
bad
can you
thing.
fix the screen? I don't. Thank you.
To be an unmarried woman meant that you were undesirable. So that's why many times when you call a woman Ms., they were married, they would be offended. They'd be like Mrs., you know, because to them it made you look like you were undesirable. If you're not married, something was wrong with you. So a lot of times, you know, people just treat me like I'm not even standing there. Like literally, if I am with somebody, they will be like, "Well, have so and so have him call me," and I'm like, "But it's my car," and they be like, "Still have him call me." Am I speaking Chinese?
Yeah,
They would be like,
yeah. Now I have, okay, now let me tell y'all what I've noticed. When I go in, let's say I have to go to the KEA building or the light company, literally, I can walk in and say, "Excuse me, sir, I'm with my husband." If I'm with my husband, I could be with any man, the driver, anybody.
No matter.
And I'll say, "Excuse me, sir, I came to check on my light bill." They will look over me like they don't see me and address the man that I'm with.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying in many ways, it is definitely because I'm unrepresented by a man, which is insane. But I mean, that's the role that's the life I'm living. So I was prepared for that. You know what I mean? But to not have any justice at all because I'm a woman, that to me is unacceptable. So we're going to just decide that you don't deserve any justice because and see, here's the thing. A lot of, again, women coming here, falling into these relationships with these soccer boys and all these different type of, you know, Yahoo boys, whatever you want to call them. They're not going to be for you anyway. So if you get here thinking that this man is going to protect you and provide for you, do anything for you, his job is to get what he can get from you. Period, point blank, end of discussion. Either from you for him or for his friends and family. It's not for you. So that's what we have to understand going forward. I don't know if everybody just dropped out, what just happened, but it's insane that we have this situation where all of these people are essentially telling you to get you a man, get you a man, get you a man. But what type of man? Be more specific. Look at all these little, what they call small boys. You know what kind of small boy, if I allowed these fools into my life, they would take everything. What little I got. You know what I mean? Then I'm over here responsible for feeding and clothing and taking care of grown ass men who can do nothing, will do nothing, never will do nothing. No, I'll stay by myself. I can do bad by myself. Mm-mm. So I don't know where Kim went. Uh-oh, boss chick. I think that was you. I don't know where Kim went if she had to drop out, but boss chick.
Yeah, that's me echoing.
Yeah. Did Kim drop out? Did she need to drop out or it just messed up? Or if we want to play another video while we wait for her. I don't think that's my video though, sweetheart. So I don't know if boss chick. So are we playing? That one isn't my video, dear. So I wanted to find out. That one's not my video. Yeah, no, I mean, to me, being single isn't a stain on womanhood. It doesn't mean that you can't find a husband. It's just that I have to choose wisely. And so, unfortunately, sometimes the environments that we are in, meaning that we haven't found people of a certain caliber, but I'm not just trying to attach myself parasitically to somebody and hoping that I'm going to have a good and genuine, organic type of relationship. It doesn't work like that. Well, I'm just going to go attach myself to this person. No. I don't want to do that. And I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend diasporan women, especially high caliber women, coming here doing that. I would not recommend that, because that's one of the easiest ways to get taken advantage of. I think personally I've survived this long and this far because I didn't attach myself to somebody. And someone said they charge us more to go inside. You must be talking about Kakum National Park. Yeah. And so sad. Yes. So sad, Yanni. I don't know. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff.
Oh, y'all still here? Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
The dog disconnected the Wi-Fi.
The dog. Oh.
Girl, the dog disconnected the Wi-Fi. Then I had to take my US SIM card out and put my Mexican SIM card in to get back on here.
Oh gosh. Bad doggy. Okay.
Damn it. Okay. What are we talking about, y'all?
To Cape Coast. We were just talking about being single. I was just remarking upon being single here and attaching yourself to someone and the costs involved. And to me, I just feel like it's better to be by yourself, because if you don't, then that person will come and siphon away all your resources. That's their job. That is their job, to find ways to get access to you and that money. That's the only reason they're around. Unfortunately,
I had a person ask me, she was getting ready to retire, and she was getting ready to retire, and she was saying that she doesn't want to connect to anybody anyway, because if she build a house or something and something happened to her, her husband gonna take everything. And I'm like, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing somebody's comment talking about there's nothing can be done about the trouble. But I'm like, wow, I'm hoping there's something that can be done, but okay.
About what trouble?
It looks like Roussel says there's nothing that can be done about the trouble she's having. It is good to hear that this dude, usually you only hear about the positives going on while moving to Africa. Do you speak to her often? So that one. So I'm not quite sure if I understand everything, because do you speak to her often? Because I hear dude, and then I'm saying, do you speak to her often? So I'm like, But
do you not understand the comment?
Well, the question? So it goes from female to males. Read it again. So there's nothing that can be done about the trouble she is having. And I'm assuming that she is me. It is good to hear this dude. Usually only you hear about the positives going on while moving to Africa. Do you speak to her often? So is she
is she saying it's good to hear this, dude? Because usually, could it be that? I don't know.
That's why I said I wanted to make sure I understand.
I still can't connect. What the heck is going on? I'm trying to get back on the laptop, y'all. Okay. Any comments or questions? Oh, I'm entering the studio.
HR says, as a younger woman, how do you enjoy yourself recreationally? What is there to do? To be honest, recreationally, there's not a lot. I'm in the Cape Coast area. Accra has so much more to do, but you got to remember if you have a budget, because a lot of times what happens is people come over here and convert their money from dollars into CDs, and they just spend. They never take into account, okay, this 40 CDs equals how much in dollars, and how much how much I'm actually spending on my expenses every month. Because once you convert it, then it's almost like people turn their brains off. And then you'll have people saying, oh, well, like I complained on my last video about the 2,500 CDs for the citizenship, and how there's people been here for 20 years and never got citizenship. And then all of a sudden they do these impromptu citizenship things, and then everybody runs to go do that.
Girl, that turned my stomach. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It turned my stomach. It made me sick.
I had a guy get into my comment section talking about, you should just see, this is why some of you shouldn't be in Africa. You should, because you guys, you complain about everything. You should just pay the because he said 2,500 was equal to about $170, that you should just pay it and shut up. And I was like, what? I was like, see, this is the reason why so many people come here and end up broke. Is because they can't afford, they don't compute all of these different these dollars and CDs.
How much was it, Inez?
So 2,500 CDs was just some of the expenses. It wasn't all. So I mean, my buddy Jay, he can jump in if you want to. He was one of those people that got it. And so many people said they paid more than $2,500 in fees, but $2,500 was supposedly the average. Okay, so if we take the average fees of $2,500 times 524 people gives you 1.3 million Ghana cedis, or 81,000 US dollars. And so I'm saying, wow, that's a lot of money, you know? And so everybody got into the comment section talking about, you got to pay for citizenship. You got to pay for citizenship. There's no such thing. But I'm saying to you, if you are telling diasporans to return home, then you're telling them to return home where they already had citizenship, where they already had land, where they already had these economic and information resources at their disposal. So you're technically supposed to be giving back to them what already belonged to them. So I disagree, you know, but the way his tone was very disrespectful, and I was like, ooh, block, you know? So it's just shut up and pay. It's essentially what he told me, was to shut up and pay it. And I was like, okay, so bring it in. I'm like, if you guys love telling people to shut up and pay all the time, or just dash this, and it's to give us something small. And you'd be like, well, what's something small? And they'll be like, 200 CDs. And I'm like, okay, so if 200 CDs is something small to me, Fabra, that's why I keep telling Fabra, if you can afford to give me 200 CDs, I'll give it back you first. You know, exactly. They'll tell you something small, and something small is like 5 or 10 CDs, maybe 20 CDs at the most. But to them, because you're Obruni, something small is 200 CDs. They start at the 200 CD range and work their way up for something small. So I'm like, no, you ain't about to be sitting up here telling me every time I look up 200 CDs, 500 CDs, 2,000 CDs. I mean, literally, look how much it costs for a residency permit. How much does it cost for all of this stuff? And it's a lot. When I say it's a lot of money, it's a lot of money. And people just tell you, just shut up and pay it. Baby, you will be broke before you can bat your eyes.
People ask me, I haven't gotten residency yet, and I haven't gotten citizenship yet. I don't see no benefit from being a citizen, except I can stop getting a visa to come back and forth.
You can get a Ghanaian passport, and you can use your ECOWAS card to travel intercontinentally. Those are the benefits.
Yeah, and I don't do those things. So, I mean, I really wouldn't benefit from it. Would I get it if it was a cheap price to me? I would, because I'm sick and tired of getting visas. But as far as the citizenship, the biggest thing for me is there is no black and white. It's like they pick and choose how they give you citizenship, what day. They just come out the blue and say, 500 of y'all come pay this money and you can be citizens.
Turn in your paperwork.
I've been there over 3.5 years. Ain't nobody offer me citizenship.
Pretty much. So
how
that's
did they
what
get
I'm saying.
notified? What is the email, a mobile message?
We got blasts on WhatsApp. Me and my buddy got blasts on WhatsApp, and they was telling you all the things you needed to bring down here. Blah, blah. You needed to get a police report.
So it was anybody.
Yeah, pretty much all the diasporans that have been here legally. If you're some of them did have requirements. I think you had to be attached to a particular organization. You had to be able to provide a police report, and certain requirements that were there. But once you did that and you submitted all of it, then you were essentially in the money. But of course, you had to do it fast. But I think they only had like a 2-day window, a very, very short window. So a lot of people, and for me, I didn't feel like doing all like. I remember years ago when I had moved here, one of my buddies, Kwame, he was telling me to pick up his police report all the way back from Oakland and bring it. So, you know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm living here now. I can't go back and get a police report from Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these different, I was like, oh man, that's too much work.
Right.
And then I'm trying to get out of here anyway. They can have this country. I'm trying to scoot. So it's no point in me.
Well, that was my question. I was going to say, has anything happened to make you say I'm done?
I've been done. You know what I mean? My main thing is trying to collect the losses that like I said, the value of the car itself is $13,000. And because what they've done to it, I can't even sell the car for what it's worth. Like, let's say I just wanted to pick up right now and just sell the car, sell everything. I sold the land, you know, because that was one thing I was still attached. I had land. So now I can't even sell the car for what it's worth because of all the nonsense. So I'm supposed to eat the losses because I can't sell it. Oh, no, baby. No. See, this is where all the fuckery has to stop. But we're not standing up for ourselves in this regard. Forget whether other people are standing up for me. I have to stand up for myself. Whether you guys come and stand up for me as a community, whether what you got to do ain't got nothing to do with me. I have to stand up for myself. I still have me. That's why I laugh when people keep talking about, well, she's doing all this by herself. I still have me. So as long as it's me, myself, and I'm okay with that too. you know, but to say that I'm not going to do anything because I'm by myself, no. I've worked way too hard. And you and I both know as women, you know, and when you're talking about higher caliber women, I refuse to be laying on my back just to provide for myself. That's not the way to go for me. That may work for some women, but that's not my lifestyle. I wasn't born and raised, I wasn't made for that lifestyle. I need to have my money.
Me either. I wasn't cut out like that.
I need my money. So they need to pony up. And since they've been having so much fun, you know, scamming and scheming the diasporan community, I need to have some fun scamming and scheming them. And that ain't even a scam to get my money back, because I'm just getting my money back, what you did to my car. And it's evident. Like I said, with all the evidence, it's honestly, if this was a court of law in the US, it wouldn't even be a conversation. I've been at this for
Have you seen prostitution from Black Americans? Because I ain't cut like that either. Like, I can't suck on strange dicks. It won't work for me. But
and they wouldn't even pay us. Well, no. See, the thing is, I've heard women be charging like 20 to 50 CDs, and I was like, babe.
Really? That's like,
babe. I was like, first of all, you ain't gonna even
get $1 or something,
baby. That's barely a little. That ain't even $2. First of all, you ain't gonna even get me to look in your direction for that. I can't even get, like, when my car was running. What's 50 CDs supposed to do for my car or my gas? Like, let's just make it like make the math. You know, math ain't math. Baby, you ain't gonna. No, it ain't happening. No.
We have another video, boss chick, or so we gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up. Any comments or questions? I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If you have any comments or questions, please click the link and come up. We've been on for 2 hours and 35 seconds.
Have we? Oh, wow.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and try to wrap this up.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
Boss Chick, do we have anything else? Boss Chick ain't even up here.
No, I think she might have had problems too. So who knows?
Okay. Hold on just 1 second. Let me turn my camera on. Okay, Inez, do you have anything else you want to say before we leave?
Thanks everyone for joining for the conversation. I appreciate it, for hanging out with me.
Man.
You know,
I appreciate you coming, as I honestly did not think you were going to say yes at all after your situation.
Oh, that heifer, she messed it up for me, because I wanted to apologize to K&K, because like I said, K&K did reach out to me after that whole Kiki thing, and I was just I was turned off by it. I was like, no, you know, and it wasn't like I was saying no to her. But I do have a YouTube channel, BG. Yeah, it was crazy. I have to apologize to her, but I did explain to her after that situation. I felt so betrayed. It was just,
yeah. Do you want to give her your channel, Inez?
Yeah, and I was typing slowly.
Okay. She's typing it, BG. Yeah, so I'm glad you got past. We've all had to. Well, not all of us, but me and you and K have definitely experienced the Green Lady, and she's heartless. It's just, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I can't. I think that she has. It's almost like she has sold. I don't know. It looks like she unconsciously sold her soul to the devil, and that's what's running her life, and she doesn't know it, so she can't fix it, because it's something really dark and evil and demonic about her, and it's just. She's a person I really won't fight back and forth with. Every now and then she'll piss me off enough to say something, but I can't play with the devil, and that's how I see her, and I just can't do it. I can't.
Yeah, no, she's not even worthy. Like I said, to even give her that much energy, it actually she's not relevant. She's not worth it. But you know, at the same time, we do have to speak on certain things that are toxic in our environments, and she's definitely toxic. And the negativity that she's spewing is not okay. You know what I mean? So sometimes when we need to be corrected, I need to be corrected at times. But like I said, I'm not out here wilding out like she was. So she earned the anger and the clapping back. She earned all of that from people.
I looked at how many reports that she has against her. None of them were acknowledged by YouTube. None of mine were acknowledged by YouTube. Meanwhile, she made a 6 series live about me. I didn't know her from Adam, had never heard of her. I made one video about her, responding to her. She had me flagged and got me a strike. Meanwhile, every video I reported of hers, YouTube threw it out. Like it was
Ain't that
nothing.
something?
Yep. Just like that. So
Yeah.
Hierophant, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. My moderator, the Hierophant Cannon, came back in. Her phone had gone dead. You have any questions for Inez before we leave?
I'm all right. If anybody got questions, I would just say you guys can go over to my page and submit, or actually, I don't even know if they can do that, but you can submit questions in one of the videos, or if you like the content, you can subscribe, you know.
You know what, Inez, let me know, because this is connected to your page. So let me know if it actually uploaded to your page to where they can go there.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. So I'll have to check and see if it did, because I haven't seen. I think when we hang up or when we disconnect, I'll see if it pops up in the content.
Okay, so I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you all for being here. Welcome back to the Kemisphere. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the comments, the love and support mostly. And thank you, Inez, for being here. I love you, and you stay strong as you are, and stay blessed.
Thank you, sis. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, so we're going to end the stream. Let's see if it ends. Play outro and